Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Sales Couch for 2011. Hey Johnny.
Happy New Year everyone and welcome.
Welcome back. We got our assistant here today. This is Puppy.
So say hello Puppy. And if there's a bit of background noise, we're filming live from Luna Park.
Yes. Now, today's topic is implementation that we wanted to touch on.
Yes.
And how important it actually is. So, let's talk about that. Mate, you've been an implementer?
Yes.
In your time?
I think anyone who's been a high achiever in sales has had to be constantly looking at and implementing different things to get good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whether you've been in the business for 1 year, whether you've been in the business for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, if you're not achieving the results that you think you deserve, then you need to be implementing something different. And one of the weaknesses, I'm going to say, of your website is it gives people so much, and when I say this, I mean this in a positive way, so much content, so many great intentional things that sometimes the reason why people aren't great or achieving high things is they don't actually know how to implement it, or they're scared to implement it because of what will happen if they do and if they don't achieve.
So fear is a big thing.
Fear. So this is going to be the whole ways that you can implement to get better at what you do. It's no big deal. We're just going to go through 4 things that could help you implement this to get better for 2011.
Okay. So have no fear around what you want to do. Like, you've got a new idea, just try the thing.
So number one, as we talked about, don't fear. Okay. And the reason that came about is you asked this great question. It's my favourite of all your interviews, and that is, if you had to start all over again, what would you do now? Okay. And the reason I think this is great is the confidence that these people display when they say, I would do this, this, this and this, and they're starting the business not from scratch because they know they're successful and they know that doing these things will make them successful. Now you should be watching that and you should be saying, wow, if I do those things, I don't have to fear failure anymore. And that's how you need to run your business. That's how you need to do sales. You need to not fear the consequences. Don't fear that if I do it, what if I'm still not good? Okay? Because you will be. There isn't a question in that, because the people who are the best at real estate aren't the most personable, aren't the naturals. It's the guys and girls who have worked on, this is how to run my business, and if I do these things, this is the result.
It is, isn't it? It's just chunks. It's just every great real estate agent that I know has just develop chunks in their day, chunks in their week, and they just stick to them and do them, and they might see a good idea every now and then and they'll put it in there and they'll amplify it. That's all they physically do.
Reading John McGrath's book, and that's what first got me, I suppose, interested in how real estate works. I think the first one was You Don't Have to Be Born Brilliant, is that correct? It's a guide to success. And by reading this book, I remember reading it thinking, success is no longer up to chance. Success is no longer something where you think, I'd like to be successful, I'd like to achieve things, I'd like to be a high achiever. It's, I will be, because they're the rules that I follow. And it was so simple, like he was talking to me, if you follow these things, you'll be successful. And I think sales is very, very similar, where you just follow some ground rules and don't fear it. You've got to let go, okay, and you will be successful. You will see better results in a 90 to 180 day period.
Definitely. Next one.
No question. Number 2, measure what you're implementing and let go of the things that aren't working. So you've got some thoughts on this, I know?
Yeah, measurement. Like, I've just put a Score Yourself video on the other day, and I've put the download on there of the sheet I've used for years and years, and I know so many people that use those sheets. But there was no comments on the video, which is fine, but I thought to myself, I wonder how many people actually see the value in that, because it's probably the most valuable thing I've done in my career to know where you stand. You know, implementing that one little thing can change your whole day. Because it's got basically the track that you need to run on.
And because Matt does this, if he changes anything, he'll know if it makes him better or worse. Because you can just look at his measurements. So we talked about this before, is the scoring system, how important it is. Whether you've got on the phones, knowing how many calls you're making and what the results are of those calls. And if over a period of time your results are dropping off, maybe you're not calling with the same enthusiasm. Maybe you've changed something in the script that you don't know about. Maybe you're saying something that puts people off. Maybe it's a bad time of year. Who knows? But you need to be able to have those numbers to do it. I will quickly mention the wheel that I talked about, because I think this is really important as well. Is that okay?
Yeah,
quickly. Measuring yourself. It's a matter of a quick wheel, sliced like a pizza. Each area is something to do with with a part of your business. So look at 8 different areas of your business, whether it be prospecting or cold calling, door knocking, listing presentations, customer feedback, administration. Measure yourself out of 10 and then draw a circle around it to see how consistent you are. What you'll find is most people will be really good at some things, really bad at others. And if you look at that as a wheel, how effective is a rolling wheel if it's got chunks taken out of it?
Yes.
Okay? The answer's not effective if you're not
And that
great at
becomes what you focus on, just getting good at all those little pieces.
So you've got to be not necessarily an expert at everything, but that's the goal, is to be an expert at all parts of it. If your admin's bad, don't just not do it. If your follow-up's bad, don't follow up. Get good at it. Find a way. Get someone else to help you. Get someone to remind you it's worth it.
And if you implement and it's not working, it's just no resonance, you know, a couple of months down the track or whatever, maybe look at letting it go. If you're measuring it and it doesn't seem to be fueling your business, let it go if it's not resonating with you. But sometimes things do need a bit of time.
They need a bit of time, and make sure if you do let something go,
Yeah.
you're letting it go for the right reasons, not because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're making
That's
sure that
exactly
you're not,
right.
oh look, this door knocking thing doesn't work for me.
Maybe replace it with something that you see is superior, that you might think is more interesting.
That's right. The successful guys prospect whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And if they were to start their business again, all of them say, to be successful, I would get out and knock on doors, I would make phone calls, I would get the letterbox dropping going. But the phone calls and the door knocking and things that they just keep ringing in my ear, that's the fastest way to get great at this business.
Definitely. And I love the thing you're going to talk about next, which is, what is it? Double
your leads,
triple your sales. Sensational.
Okay.
You know, there was a quick study done in a real estate office, there was a real estate office, and the highest performing salespeople made the most amount of calls.
Yes.
That was the link.
And to some people, they would say, I'm surprised that James Tostopher makes so many calls every single week.
Yeah.
And you saw how he wasn't surprised.
Here's something with James. He wouldn't have to make another call for the next 10 years.
Yes.
He would have enough business to live a brilliant life and do whatever, but he knows the value of it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? That I'm sure that if he stopped making those 200 calls, he would still write $1.5 million of business every single year, which to most agents would be a dream to be able to sell that much.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want $1.5 million. He knows that those 200 calls bring him $4.5 million worth of business.
Yes.
And ask yourself, would you make 200 calls a week if someone guaranteed $300 million in business to you?
Yeah, that's right.
I would.
Yeah,
you know, I wouldn't mind that sort of income coming through from making 200 calls.
That's the key here, you know.
Yeah.
It's people don't link.
Yes.
They can't see the link because they haven't experienced it yet. The link between the call and the outcome, because the outcome is down the track.
That's right.
Except they just haven't. The today call is an inconvenience rather than a value task.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
Working with one of the sales guys I was working with, his boss was saying, "Well, give it 3 months and see if that works."
Yeah.
And he's sort of saying, "Well, we're not trialing a new NASA satellite to see if that can affect real estate that's never been tried. We're trialing becoming accountable and knocking on people's doors and improving your output. You're speaking to more people. How can that be bad?
Yeah.
Unless you're really bad at speaking to people and then get good at it, and that's part of the implementation as well. But if you double your calls, double your door knocks, you will triple your sales within a short period of time. I think 6 months would be the longest you could see it, but over years you will get that ongoing business.
It's almost like you've got to not even worry about the time frame.
No, that's right.
Urgency. Last point we want to talk about is urgency.
Go.
I'll jump in quickly.
Yeah.
I find that every single successful person that I know in real estate is urgent.
Yeah.
They just do it.
You use the saying, which is if you want something done, ask a busy person.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's so true. I know
Wasn't
myself.
my saying, I heard it somewhere.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I find myself when I'm in holiday mode,
Yeah.
I can't get anything done.
Yeah.
You know, it's when I was on holidays over Christmas. I was going to the gym at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So my day was built around that.
Yeah.
It was okay. Well, I'll eat at this time, and I'll go to the beach at this time, and I struggled to get more than 2 things done in a day.
Yeah.
And then now I'm back at work again, and I have high numbers of clients going from the city to do this filming, to do some blogging, to and there seems to be another 12 hours in the day because I'm busy.
Yes.
So successful people have urgency, and urgency means you're going to be getting things done.
Yeah.
And what you'll actually find is your clients will become more urgent.
Yeah.
Buyers will become more urgent
Yeah.
because urgency is an emotion. It's an energy.
It is.
It's not necessarily speaking quickly and shouting and barking orders,
Yeah.
okay, which is what some people think urgency is.
Yeah.
You'll find that your buyers will start becoming more urgent, and they'll say, oh, well, I want to get this property before auction.
Yeah.
Or how do I get this earlier? Or can we have a shorter settlement? And they start asking questions, and that's coming from your energy.
It is.
Okay? The same with people listing. They don't want to speak to 4 other agents because what's the point? I found you.
Because don't you think the world's just a mirror of your mindset and energy?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
100%.
Well, I hope everyone got a few little tips out of this today. But like I said, I think that the last point is the most important.
Yep.
Successful people implement their urgent, they get things done.
Yep.
And if anything, just become more urgent about the things that you need to do every day to get to where you need to get to where you need to go.
So my final advice is keep watching these videos,
Yeah.
make notes at the end of it, and talk about with yourself or with somebody else, what can I do to implement these things to get better in what I'm doing? How can I do it without any fear and just let go and trust?
Yeah.
How can I measure what I'm doing and let go of the things that aren't working? How can I double my leads or double my calls so I can triple my sales? And how can I become more urgent? How can I just get things done so everyone around me becomes more urgent as well? If you do those 4 things, they're not rocket science, but you'll see an improvement in a short space of time.
Johnny Lee, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, Matt. See you, everyone.
See you guys.